Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Montclair. My name is Marcus Greyhawk. I'm the Director of Music Ministries, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. We're about to sing a couple of gathering hymns, and after that we're going to light our chalice, and you'll be invited to do the same in your home. And if you don't have a chalice, you can light a candle, a tea light, a flashlight, anything that you can illumine that you can find in your house. Our first hymn is called Mother Earth, Beloved Garden. It was written by Amanda Udis Kessler, a Unitarian Universalist musician from Colorado Springs. And it's a beautiful song that invites us to become aware of our physical space and connect with the world around us and be mindful of the interdependent web that we're all a part of. Our hymn leader is Melinda Laughlin.
Somewhere Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever age, identity, history, ability, gender, sexual orientation, or political affiliation, you are welcome to bring your full self here. Grounded in faith, we come together to nurture the soul, inspire hope, and bring into being a more just and loving world. If you're joining us at 9:30, please continue with us for a virtual connection cafe at 10:30 a.m. Check your email and realm announcements for the Zoom link.
If you are at all like me, perhaps of late you have been experiencing yourself at times as a mystery to yourself. What we are moving through, this struggle of these days, the grief, the sadness, the trauma, this is affecting us, body and soul. Be gentle with yourself. Know that everything you are going through is human and natural. And know that we will get through this together. And together we light our chalice. If you have a chalice, a candle, anything you can illumine, join us in this ritual from your home. Let's share our chalice lighting words. Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. And let us open our hearts to love one another. And join with us now as we continue in song. The song is There Is a Love, and it's offered by our own Melinda Laughlin and Marcus Greyhawk. There is a love holding us. Enter with me now into this space of depth, each as we are called, finding a soft remembrance, an ardent prayer, a meditation, each as we are called, and yet all together. And we enter into this space by hearing the lamentations, the requests, and the remembrances of our community. Let us hear one another to heal one another. Kate and Christian Turek, along with Owen and Kieran Wells, who provided the flowers for today's service, remember their many beloved family members who passed on during the month of April. Michelle Ongano Turek, Kathleen Martin Reiners, Clarence Reiners, Helen Reniers, Kotswa, Dale Hamilton, Richard Hoyt, and Agnes Wagner Wells. Sally and Roger Apollon would like to light 2 candles of remembrance for Sally's auntie Eileen Pardo and Dion's mother Daphne Brown, who both lost their lives to an extended battle against cancer. May their memories be a blessing. And Lena Jacobs lights a candle in memory and honor of Dave Hogenauer, a great naturalist, historian, and teacher. Amy Brabson would like to light a candle for her neighbor, John Clomax, who passed away on April 8th from COVID-19, and another candle for her dear friend, Oni Falda Lampley, who passed away in April of 2008. Amy adds, I miss her. Joe Palka asks that we hold Elizabeth Polanski, his roommate's mother, in prayer. She is in the midst of this crisis, also enduring multiple health concerns that are taking a negative toll. May our listening bring forth acts of love. And will you join me now in a spirit of prayer and meditation? Let us begin with gratitude. Gratitude for the wonder that we are here together. Gratitude for this morning and the fact that we rose again in spite of the struggle. Gratitude for the green earth, the wet rain, and the warm sun. Gratitude for all that sustains us, even when we feel that we cannot go on. Gratitude for that spirit of hope that rises within, that instinct, that blessing that lifts us back into life. And with gratitude sustaining us, we turn now to ask for help. Help. Help us to see one another clearly, even through the cloud of our unknowing, the stress and the uncertainty of these days. Help us to recognize both the similarities of our experiences and the stark differences, the way some are carrying burdens, the weight of which we cannot guess. Help us to be servants, even now, to the good. Help us so that we can turn, even now, with full hearts to praise, so we may finish this prayer and this day with praise. Praise for all who have held us when we have wept. Praise for the tears that keep springing from the well of humanity within. Praise for the moments where laughter catches us off guard. Praise for those fighting for our kin in jails, in detention centers, in hospitals, in need. Praise for the birds singing and the children dancing and the families walking and the parents struggling but loving. Praise for all that is even now speaking from our souls. Will you say these words of praise with me, words penned by our congregation's own Bruce Caddock? To remain human, to remain in touch with your feelings and instincts, to remain conscious of the ever-changing soul within you is to fight every day of your life against the innumerable forces around you that would have you do otherwise. Praise for you, for remaining human with something inside so strong, you know you can make it. Amen. Amen. May it be so.
doing me wrong, so wrong. Thought that my pride had gone. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Something inside so strong.
Wild geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things.
You do not have to be good. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Mary Oliver is correct. Whether we are good or we despair, the world goes on. Whether we are coupled or single, the world goes on. And whether we are curled in a ball of anxiety or riding this out resplendently, the world goes on. The world goes on, yet will it be the world that we once knew? And if it isn't the world that we knew, will it be worse? How can it be worse than it already is? Although I'm pretty sure that it can be. Like our anthem so aptly illustrated, we are faced with taller barriers to climb, the constant chipping away of our rights, and an aggressive attempt to mute our voices. Yet we go on. The world continues to go on. Yeah, but what if it does get worse? What if it gets so much worse that we can't find a way to make it better? What if this is about the time in my own spiral of despair that I remind myself that this is not the first time that things have gone wrong. And then secondly, I ask myself, Antonia, how's your spiritual practice going? And what do you need to do to participate in your own survival? You see, my friend Kiana Perkins is a UU professional in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and she reminds her children that they must participate in their own survival. Hearing her speak that to her children, it just stuck with me, and it's something that helps me to practice spiritual care. These two questions give me a way to come back out of that spiral and breathe. I breathe a few cleansing breaths. Why don't we do it? I breathe in. Just breathe with me. How is my spiritual practice? I have many different methods to help me get to centered. They all start with a check-in with my mind, body, and spirit. I say, body, hey, how are you feeling right now? What could I do differently to help you reach a state of calm? And then I check in with my mind. Mind, how are you feeling right now? What could I do differently to help you reach a state of calm? And then my spirit. Spirit, how are you feeling right now? What could I do differently to help you reach a state of calm? These check-ins provide me with the formula that I need to help myself. And next, I answer my second question. What can I do to participate in my survival? This question has led me to the path of practicing radical spiritual practice that encompasses an active hope. In this practice, I've learned that there is a way in which we can live that gives us more than just the certainty that the world will continue. It can provide us with a way in which to participate in the building of the world that we would like to continue. Radical spiritual practice requires us to get serious about the business of caring for ourselves. It charges us to take the time to reflect on who we are. It asks us to think more deeply about what brings light to our life. It asks us to face the shadow self and acknowledge its existence. It requires us to seek joy and experiences of creativity. It challenges us to play. And I can't think of anything that feels more radical than finding play, joy, and moments of creativity in these times. Radical spiritual practice reminds us to do and to be, letting neither of them become the dominant driver of our lives. It reminds us that we are not the sum of our wealth, our health, or our commodities. And it reminds us that when we are tired, we need to rest. Rest. As Tricia Hersey, the founder of the NAP Ministry, tells us, rest is resistance. Radical spiritual practice provides us a peace that recognizes that conflict can be present while peace reigns. It gives us a way to survive challenging times. And active hope? Active hope requires us to look at the world as it is and acknowledge its realities. It asks us to examine the root causes of widespread social justice issues and to collaborate with others to think of equitable solutions. Active hope requires us to move beyond our minds and move out into the broader world community to seek change. Mostly, the idea of active hope isn't so hard for us. They line up pretty clearly with our 7 principles. I mean, think of the you and all that we already do to impact the world for the better. Yet, we must be vigilant about being complacent in how we see ourselves and how we are living into our spiritual practices and our practice of active hope. The author of the book, Active Hope, Joanna Macy, states that active hope requires a readiness to discover the size and strength of our hearts, a steadiness of our purpose, our own authority, the unsuspected deep well of patience and diligence, the keenness of our senses, and our capacity to lead. Right now, practicing active hope feels like a tall order. Yet, I think we can do it as we're able. There is no prize in pushing ourselves beyond our limits. There is no sense in burning ourselves out. Remember, rest is resistance. Remember that we have the questions that we can ask to activate our spiritual survival. They are body, mind, spirit. How are you feeling right now? What could I do differently to help you reach a state of calm? What can I do to participate in my survival? Yes, Mary Oliver gives us a gift in her poem, Wild Geese. She tells us what will happen next. The answer is, the world will go on. Joanna Macy gives us a gift in her book. She teaches us how to build a sustaining and active hope that helps us change the world. And Trisha Macy gives us a gift through her NAP ministry. She reminds us that sometimes resistance comes through the form of rest. And we can give ourselves a gift. We can check in with ourselves and give ourselves what we need. May we go on together so strong in our radical spiritual practices, so strong in our commitment to practice an active hope, and so strong in our commitment to remain human, even when the forces around us seek to lead us astray. I welcome you to reflect upon this question. What radical spiritual practices do you or will you use to survive? Won't you now sing with us, Guide My Feet?
Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. 'Cause I don't want to run this race in vain. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain.
In this time of great challenge, you have continued to show your amazing, generous spirit. Thank you. Today, we ask you to continue that spirit of generosity, supporting our congregation while also supporting an outreach organization. 80% of your gifts will care for our congregation, and 20% will serve Hands, a nonprofit neighborhood revitalization effort in Orange and East Orange. Hands redevelops vacant homes as well as industrial and commercial buildings for affordable home ownership. Hands provides a constructive approach to caring for urban centers, making visible improvements that lead to more awareness and social commitment. Our congregation is glad to partner with Hands in the grateful acceptance of your gifts. You can text to give or go to our homepage and click on the donate button. This is a time of great need. All your gifts are worthy, and they are all received with gratitude and love.
Go forth and seek your spiritual center and adorn it with prayer and gratitude and praise. Let it be expansive enough to embrace a sky of wild geese. Let there be joy and creativity. Let there be silliness. Let there be a strength, something so strong, something inside so strong, something to remind us that we are human. Please say this with me. To remain human, to remain in touch with your feelings and instincts, to remain conscious of the ever-changing soul within you, is to fight every day of your life against the innumerable forces around you that would have you do otherwise. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
Until we meet again, virtually or otherwise, you are in our hearts.
Our worship has ended. Let our service begin. Go in peace. Go in joy. Go in love.